Maybe this is what we deserve after ignoring climate science for decades. It's an immersive cinematic experience that will make you feel the heat. You'll actually sweat while watching it. And that's just the beginning. It was mid-January, the kind of night where the air felt like it could crack. Alex was coming home late, juggling a takeout bag in one hand and a backpack in the other. Their gloves made it harder to fish for keys, but they weren't in the coat pocket, or the bag, or the jeans. They were inside. They patted down the couch cushions, the usual spot, then dug under the throw pillows. Nothing. Frustration prickled up their neck. Where were their keys? Was there another place they were putting them now? Alex walked into the kitchen, back out to the hall, checking the mirror, trying to remember what they'd done differently today, what had changed. They hadn't taken the red line home. These were new gloves, too. The leather wasn't helping. Alex sighed, dropping their bag on the floor. They needed to call the locksmith, but maybe there was another option. Maybe someone they knew had a spare key. No way. Not tonight. They checked their watch. Almost 11. Everyone would be asleep by now. They started dialing. The first ring went to voicemail. Alex left a breathless message. The second one did too, and the third Alex didn't even bother with, so that was that. They were officially calling the locksmith. Alex tapped their foot against the baseboard, while waiting for the call to connect. They could hear the wind outside, rattling the windows. It sounded like someone was tapping the glass with a metal key.
Alex
smiled faintly. At least there was a good chance the locksmith would come. In a few minutes, it was better than nothing. Still, why hadn't they gotten rid of that stupid key already? They knew this would happen eventually. They'd known since the day they moved in. Maybe it was easier to worry about getting locked out when the weather was nice. Now, though, standing here with the wind slithering through the cracks of the window and down their jacket, it suddenly seemed very urgent. The call finally connected, and the locksmith gave Alex the address in ETA. Then they hung up, and Alex realized they hadn't put on their shoes. The soles of their feet hit the tile floor and they winced. At first, Alex tried the optimistic shuffle, checking every possible pocket twice, patting down the same spots as if the keys might magically appear. But there was nothing there. The wind had picked up outside. The takeout was cooling fast, and Alex was starting to shiver. They could go back out into the hall and keep trying to warm up, but the wind was going to follow them out there. Alex looked around the apartment, half expecting the answer to just jump out at them. They checked the throw pillows again, then the shelf next to the door. It held the mail and a stack of coasters, but no keys. It was time to call the locksmith. But before they reached for their phone, they heard it. There was a sound in the apartment. Heavy footsteps. Someone or something moving around in the bedroom. Alex froze. Was it a burglar? Home invader? Had someone followed them home from the grocery store? They strained to listen. More footsteps. Then a crash. Alex crept toward the bedroom door, pulling the blanket off the back of the couch. They wrapped the blanket around themselves, then slowly turned the knob. The room was empty, except for a pile of books on the floor and a closed closet door. Alex walked in and flicked on the light. The books were their roommates. They must have come home early. But where were they? And where were the keys? Relief flooded Alex, pushing away the fear. They ran to the closet and threw open the doors. Inside, hanging on a hanger, were their keys. Wrapped around the handle was the blanket Alex had been wearing. They pulled them out and fumbled with the lock. They stood in the kitchen, staring out the window. The rain had let up and the sky was clearing. The sun was setting, painting the clouds in streaks of orange and purple. Alex opened the window and leaned out, breathing deeply. The air was crisp and clean, the kind of night that smelled like pine needles and wet pavement. A perfect night for a walk. They slipped off their gloves, revealing hands with slightly paler skin and faint, barely visible lines that told stories of days gone by. Alex reached behind them to unlock the window, but their fingers brushed against something hard, a key hidden behind the frame. Startled, Alex pulled their hand away and stared at the key. It was small, no bigger than their thumb, with intricate carvings along its length. They carefully reached out and picked it up, turning it over in their palm. Alex had never seen this key before in their life. Where did it come from? Who did it belong to? Curiosity bubbled up inside them, replacing the lingering chill. They slid the key into their pocket and headed out the door. The city lights twinkled below, inviting Alex to explore. The buildings loomed over them, whispering secrets from years past. Each street they turned down revealed a new surprise. Cozy cafe with tables overflowing onto the sidewalk, a vintage bookstore with its windows glowing a warm amber. Alex walked on, captivated by the city's nocturnal charm. As they strolled, they thought about the key. What if it didn't belong to a house? What if it opened something else, a hidden box or a secret drawer? The possibilities intrigued them. Alex quickened their pace, eager to find out more. Suddenly, they stopped. In front of them was a large, imposing building, its facade adorned with intricate carvings. It looked ancient, as if it had witnessed centuries pass before their eyes. Above the main entrance, Alex noticed a set of heavy oak doors, their surface etched with symbols they couldn't quite decipher. Could this be the place? The key seemed to hum in Alex's pocket, urging them closer. With a deep breath, Alex approached the doors and inserted the key. To their astonishment, the key fit perfectly. The heavy doors swung inward, revealing a dimly lit staircase spiraling into darkness. Curiosity burning bright within them, Alex stepped across the threshold and began their descent. The air grew colder as they descended, sending shivers down their spine. At the bottom of the stairs, Alex found themselves in a vast chamber. The walls were lined with shelves holding countless books, bound in leather and dusted with age. In the center of the room sat a massive desk, its surface covered in arcane symbols and diagrams. Behind the desk stood a tall, imposing figure cloaked in shadow. Startled by Alex's intrusion, the figure turned, revealing a face etched with wisdom and power. "Who goes by the name of Alex?" the figure boomed, their voice echoing through the chamber. "And what brings you to my humble abode?" Overwhelmed by the mystery surrounding them, Alex stammered, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to intrude. I found this key, and it fit the door." The enigmatic figure nodded slowly. "So the rumors are true. The key has found its way into the hands of a seeker." They paused, their gaze intense. "Tell me, Alex, what do you seek?" Alex hesitated, unsure how to respond. They had come seeking answers, but what answers? What mysteries lay hidden within this chamber? The truth, perhaps. The truth about the key, about their own existence, about the world itself. "I seek the truth," Alex whispered, their voice filled with newfound determination. The enigmatic figure smiled, a knowing glimmer in their eyes. "Then the truth shall be yours, for you have found the keeper of secrets."
Yes.
The figure gestured grandly toward the rows upon rows of books lining the chamber. "Within those ancient pages lie the answers to the universe. Ask your questions, Alex, and I shall guide you to the wisdom you seek." With a deep breath, Alex stepped forward, ready to embark on a journey of discovery. Adventure had just begun.